Okay, we'll crack on then. So, we're talking now about experience design. For the rest of today and tomorrow, we're going to be talking about how we can design the best experiences. We've already heard from people today saying I want to use this with the young people, but this will be down to everybody individually to get hold of this theme of experience, because there's the challenge, and let's really help it or use it to help us get to the next level. It's powerful, we know that. Why? Because experiences create beliefs, shape actions, give us the results. We know it can be an influencer for the positive if we go above the line. And how do we do that? We see it, own it, solve it, do it. So let's now talk about how we design experiences. Now, I might have mentioned last year that we went to Buckingham Palace once or twice, or 3 or 4 times, and you've seen the pictures. But how they designed this garden party was amazing. And I just want to talk about the design of what they did to make that work. You could have gone to Buckingham Palace and felt a complete and utter outcast, because it's very luxurious, there's grandeur everywhere. So you could have gone and thought, I shouldn't be here. And that's exactly what I thought I'd have felt when I went down to the garden party. What on earth am I doing here? I know we're representing Harrod, but I'm going to feel like I shouldn't be there. And I hate feeling uncomfortable like that. But the way they'd set it out, the way they brought it in, they brought you through Buckingham Palace. You actually went through where the Queen lives. And then you go out into the gardens, you can walk around the gardens, you've got free reign, there's food, there's bands on, brass bands on, playing all kinds of music, and you can go about and do whatever you want to do there. They designed that experience so that everybody could go, you could feel at home, but you could also feel incredibly special, knowing that you were there for a reason, like the great work of Harrod Ford. It wasn't a case of let's just have afternoon tea. They designed it so that everybody could engage with that experience. But as well as being down at Buckingham Palace, when we were down there, we actually did some other things when we were down in London, as you'd expect people to do. We went to this place. Claridge's. Put your hand up if you've heard of Claridge's. Oh wow, there really is. Has anybody not heard of Claridge's? Right, thank you, Mr. Chambers. You may have Alicia. Oh, well done. Thank you. Well, I hadn't heard of Claridge's. And people were like, you are such a loser. But I hadn't heard of Claridge's. And we went into Claridge's and we had a meal there. It was absolutely amazing. And there's the foyer. And just behind the foyer area where you go in is where the restaurant is. And I want to talk about the experience I had at Claridge's. It was an amazing experience. Now, for the foodies in the room, I'm not going to be talking about the food. And for the people who think, well, you need to talk to us, Drew, about the service that we had, I'm not going to talk to you about the service either. I will be a head teacher, not known for this, but I want to talk about the toilet. I reckon I'll be the only head teacher in the country showing you pictures of toilets on the first day back in. And that is not a connection to the 40%. Claridge's was amazing, it really was amazing. But I walked into the toilets and I was just like, wow. It was, I hope you can see that. It was the most amazing experience in the toilet. It was brilliant in there. You walk in and it was just fantastic. It really was. I was like going, this is unbelievable. And then you go to the toilet, as you do go to toilets, and I was greeted with this. Can you see those bits of glass at the bottom? Now I've walked up, as you do, to every toilet I've ever been to, and I'm thinking, what's the go here? Are they cleaning it, or what do you kind of do? Does anybody know what it's for?
Stop the splashback.
Thank you, Councillor Pennington. Stop the splashback. It's to stop yourself getting the dreaded splashback. You're in Claridge's. You tuck your feet underneath and you go to the toilet. What a great design. I said to Mrs. Moby, we need one of these when there's 4 men in a house. But what a great design. Somebody designed the experience. And then I turn around, having obviously been to the bathroom, and can you see the left-hand side there? Not in a Claridge's toilet do you have to use the hand dryers that don't dry your hands properly, or that horrible thing that you pull round and you dry your hands on the towel on the rock. Oh no. Egyptian cotton. Individually rolled and folded towels to dry your hands. It was incredible, but that's not actually why I put that picture. Can you see the blue liquid in a bottle at the side? What's that? Mouthwash. Not aftershave, it's mouthwash. And at the side of that, there's some cups. And I was thinking to myself, not only of this amazing thing, I've come round, I've dried my hands, and I've just had a meal, and it's mouthwash with a cup. And I had this mouthwash, and it was the best tasting mouthwash I'd ever had. And I'm leaning over the sink, and I'm rubbing this mouthwash. And a guy from South Africa came in and he went, "You enjoying that?" I said, "You don't even know." And then to finish off, you walk out, you clean your shoes, didn't need cleaning, but I cleaned them anyway. And then next to that is hand moisturiser, and you give it one of them, and out I went. Saw Vicky. Have you been in the toilet? Oh, I loved it. The guy from South Africa couldn't quite believe it. But the point I'm making, all jokes aside, is that somebody's actually even looked at the bathrooms in Claridge's and gone, we're going to do something brilliant in there that this crank from Warrington is never ever going to forget in his life. Because it was an amazing experience, even using the bathroom. I can talk to you about the food, I can talk about the service, you're not allowed to pour your own drinks. It's crazy, they gave me a real death stare when I dared to pour my own drink, because the moment your glass gets down to a certain level, they don't. But it really, really was an amazing experience going there, but I was totally impressed by the fact that somebody had bothered to design the bathroom experience. And when we were down there, we were walking through Mayfair and we came across this place, the Hard Rock Cafe. Now think about the Hard Rock Cafe for a minute. I believe it's like a waiting list for days to be able to book a meal at the Hard Rock Cafe. And what is the Hard Rock Cafe? What is it? It's a restaurant that does what? It's just basic American diner food. So why are people queuing up and paying ridiculous amounts of money? Because of the experience that you have when you go into Hard Rock Cafe. You're surrounded by music memorabilia. And we couldn't believe, we're looking at it going, how expensive is the most basic food? Because you're paying for the experience. Because experiences are powerful things, they influence us in so many ways. And if we design them in the way that we want the experiences to take, we could have a huge impact on our young people. And then, of course, we carried on walking, we doubled back on ourselves, we came back through Mayfair, we passed an amazing luxury hotel chain. We didn't go inside, but we walked past the Ritz-Carlton. And the Ritz-Carlton, one of the best hotels in the world, they got their staff together and they said, how can we give our customers an even better experience? In actual fact, how could we make it even better for staff? Now, you'll notice a Harrop Foldism in this, because they came out with the Ritz-Carlton 510. Does anybody know what the Ritz-Carlton 510 is? Because this is what they feel has got them to be one of the top hotels in the world. As a member of staff, if someone comes within 10 feet of you, you have to look at them, acknowledge them and smile. Everybody. Staff to staff, staff to customers. And then, if they come within 5 feet, you have to speak to them and you have to pass the time of day in some way, shape or form. When they got together at the Ritz-Carlton, they said, that has been one of the biggest shifts in all our marketing is because of the way people are made to feel when they come into the Ritz-Carlton. The Ritz-Carlton 510, something so simple as acknowledging someone and then speaking to someone within 5 feet. Really powerful stuff. And the final example I've got for you is this place, Amazon. If you go online shopping, you will probably use or have used a lot in the past Amazon. Why do we use Amazon? Well, Amazon remembers who you are. They personalise it. Great experience. And then when you buy something, it will give you other options of things you might want to buy as well, underneath, because they're helpful like that. Or not. Or they might even give you an option of buying it even cheaper. They took an internet shopping experience, which is quite detracted from that human interaction, and they made it personal. They created an amazing online internet shopping experience because they designed it. They know who you are, they know the kind of things you like to buy. You can leave things in your shopping cart, you can come back to it at a later time. And when you bought your goods, it's not a case of what the hell do we do. If your goods don't arrive on time, you get very quick refunds 9 times out of 10. Or if you don't like the goods you've got, they'll either come and pick them up or you can take them to one place. There's not the faffing and the messing around that comes with a lot of internet shopping. Why? Because they've designed the very best experience. The rest of today and tomorrow, we're going to design the very best experience for our young people. That's what this year's about. That's where the challenge comes in. It's powerful stuff, it can influence positive or negative, and our job is to grab hold of the idea of design and make it work for us. As we've already said, this is not point zero. A lot of the things we've talked about are already in place. People come to Harrop and they love the Harrop experience. One parent at open evening last year, I think, said to Boo, this place is like a cult. It's an incredible place. And what I want to say is that we're good at this, but I think we can get even better. So how do we do experience design? Well, when you look at experience design, there are some things called touch points. And if you're going to design the best experience, you have to understand what your touch points are. So there are 3 touch points that I want to mention before we carry on with the rest of our work this morning. But let's really start now getting hold of this theme and thinking about where it's going to take us. The first touch point will be the students. This is about saying, okay, when our students come into our school, what is the experience? From the moment they walk through the door, what is their experience like between lessons? What's it like in my lesson? Do we need to change the tables around in the room? What experience do the kids get? How do we speak to them? How do we put things on after school? How do we deal with poor behaviour that we don't like? That is all about designing the experience. So our students are huge in this. It's a huge piece of the work. We want better results. We know it's powerful because the experiences they have will create the beliefs, shape the actions, get the results we want. But those experiences, positive and negative, will influence us, and we need to make sure that we handle them and evaluate them in the right way, or it won't work as a positive. We have to design it. The second point I'm going to talk about is staff, each other, Team Harrop. What are we going to do to give each other the very best experience? How are we going to work together and operate together? What can we do for each other in our faculties, in our areas, in our offices to improve the way that we operate? Will it be the experience of line management? How will that shift this year? How can we really think and agree within our groups, within our micro-cultures at Harrop Fold, within that big Team Harrop culture, how can we design the best experience so staff come in and feel they can do things, feel they can take control, and feel that they can give these kids the very, very, very best, but also the staff that they work with, give them the very best too. And the final element are any stakeholders. Think about the experience a parent has of Harrop. Are we really that boring and average as a school that we just do 1 or 2 parents' evenings a year? And that's our interaction with parents? Or could we get creative and generate a different experience for parents? Or parental phone calls? Or when the DFE come in, what experience do we want to give them? What could we raise up next time to impress them even more? What about other head teachers? What about other colleagues? What experience do we generate with those stakeholders? So for me, I hope this morning we've made an awful lot of sense of the power of this experience theme. It's powerful. It is very, very powerful because it delivers the results in whatever we want it to. We need to make sure we use the influence of this positively. Therefore, it needs designing. We're all part of the experience economy. We all have a part to play, every single one of us. So it's about us designing the very best experience for those 3 touch points. And if you're still going, I don't know which things we should do and we shouldn't do and what should go in our plans, well, that's what we're going to be talking about. That's what we'll be sharing as well over the next 2 days. That's where we'll be challenging each other. But if you are in any doubt at all of what goes in, what shouldn't go in, what should go in, I'm just going to say this statement. We put things in that make the difference for each other, for the young people, for any stakeholder. The challenge, I'll finish with where I started. Get hold of this experience theme. It's the most powerful and significant one we've had yet. And let's make sure we design the very best experience for those young people, number one, for each other, number two, stakeholders, number three, and we march forward, we march on towards our 2020 vision. Hope that's made sense. Let's get hold of it. Let's make it work for us. I'm going to hand over to Mr. James.
Just give us a minute while we set this up, yeah, and we'll try and be as quick as we can.